This is Katerina from the Evolution of Stitches. In this video tutorial I am going to show you how to knit this beautiful beanie with ears. I have knitted it in two different sizes, but it's size adjustable. I have used different types of yarn to show you the difference. So this is mohair yarn and it's knitted for a toddler 2 years old. Using 3.5 millimeters circular needles, and this is for a teenager. I knitted it using a chunkier yarn, and the size of my circular needles is 4.5. Of course, as I said, this is a beanie which is size adjustable. You will have to know the circumference of the head of the person who is going to wear the beanie, and then calculate the stitches you need for the beanie. Let me show you some measurements. I've knitted about 3 centimeters for the brim of the beanie, and then I knitted 11 centimeters in total, so that means 8 more centimeters of stockinette stitch before I started knitting the ears. And this is the back. The back is about 20 centimeters in total. Before we start knitting this type of beanie, or bonnet as people call it, I will give you some tips in order to be able to adjust the size to any size you like. So let me show you how to do it. The first thing that you need to know before you start knitting this beanie is the circumference of the head. So in my case, because I'm knitting this for an older child, the circumference is 55 centimeters. In order to be able to decide the width, let me show you the width of this part of the beanie, so the one that goes on the forehead, what I will need to do is to divide the head circumference by 2. In my case, this will give me 27.5 centimeters, and then I will use this formula. So I will multiply 1.5 to my semi-circumference and add 6. These numbers always remain the same. You will have to use the semi-circumference that you are knitting. Anyway, in my case, if I multiply my semi-circumference by 1.5 and add 6, I will get 47.25, which I will round down to 47 centimeters. This is the width I need to knit for the part of the brim. And now, in order to decide how many stitches I will need to cast on for this part, what I will need to do is this. I have already knitted the gauge, so I know that in order to get a 10 by 10 square with the yarn that I'm using and the size of the needles that I'm using, I will need to knit 17 stitches and 22 rows. In order to calculate how many stitches I will need to cast on, I will multiply the number of the stitches in my gauge by the width I need to knit, and this I will divide by 10. This will give me 79.9 stitches, which I will round up to 80 stitches. So in order to start my beanie and start knitting this part, I will cast on 80 stitches. The next thing that I need to decide is the height of the beanie up to the place where I should start knitting the ears, and also there is a formula for doing this. So here in my case, if I multiply 0.5 by the semi-circumference and add 2, this will give me the height of the beanie on the front part. So in my case, if I multiply 0.5 by 27.5, which is my semi circumference, and add 2, this will give me 15.75, and this is the total height of the front of the beanie, meaning that I also count the brim of the beanie for this measurement. So I get almost 15.75, as you see. Out of this, the brim is about 3, and then the part of the stockinette stitch is about 8 centimeters, plus the part of the ears, which is about 5 centimeters. With all these, I get 15.75 centimeters for the front part of the bonnet. And for the back of the beanie, this is the part from the top of the head where I have finished knitting the ears up to the back of your neck. And this is this part of the beanie, which is about 20 centimeters. So with 20 plus over a little bit over 15, I get the measurement from the forehead to the base of the neck, and in this way I can calculate and adjust the size to any size I want. Please watch the next part on how to knit and distribute the stitches.